Welcome to another edition of the It's Cavalier podcast, powered by Mellow Seltzer. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight our Cleveland Cavaliers took on those pesky Canadians one more time. This one representing yet another sweep opportunity. Hell, it seems like that has been the case in each and every game this season. Cleveland now has 7 of those on the year after its victory over the Timberwolves, which is tied with last year's entire amount. And now they officially have more sweeps than all of last year with the defeat of the Toronto Raptors tonight, with still 28 games left. And by the way, Cleveland still has a chance to tie or best their franchise record for wins, which stands at 67. This season has just been phenomenal. And it feels like there's a storyline just about every game, too. Against Minnesota, we got news that Max Strus would be sidelined, and in his place, DeAndre Hunter made his Cleveland Cavalier debut as the starter, something that we were all wondering about. And tonight, we were wondering whether or not Hunter will begin the game in the starting lineup once more or as a reserve, spelling that of Max Strus or Evan Mobley midway through the first. And we got that answer not too long away from tip-off. And for what it's worth, this time around, both Max and Ty Jerome were listed as questionable prior to tonight's game. Max Strus would return, though. So he entered the starting lineup, sending DeAndre Hunter back to the bench. And it was probably a good thing because Ty Jerome was ruled out eventually, and they needed an extra boost off the bench with all the players that they are still missing. Still no Dean Wade, still no Isaac Okoro. Add Ty Jerome to that list tonight. That said, one of the things that I was really looking forward to had been Brandon Ingram versus Hunter, because Brandon Ingram, fresh off of being traded to Toronto and then being given that contract extension, I was really hoping that he would make his Raptors debut, but that was not to be. That said, we still got one hell of a game tonight. We got Hunter looking like he fits in exactly as we thought he would, looking like the 3-and-D type of wing that we all know that he is capable of being. Max Strus and Sam Merrill were absolutely cooking tonight. Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley, Darius Garland, everybody, Jarrett Allen. This game just felt so phenomenal. Let's not forget Craig Porter Jr. But man, this game, it was something to marvel at. Now, speaking offensively for DeAndre Hunter, I suppose we should probably start there. I was looking for a few things tonight from Hunter specifically. Knock down the corner triple, move the ball, especially when driving, and don't just stand in the corners. Be active, move around out there like we see from a Max Strus or a Sam Merrill. And to that middle point about driving, NBA.com shows that he only drove 3 total times in his Cavs debut. And on those 3 drives, Hunter attempted 2 field goals, didn't make either, and passed the ball just once. And what I would like to see from him moving forward, and we saw it tonight, is for Hunter to make more of an effort to move the ball. And when he doesn't have a high percentage look at the rim, in other words, just utilize that drive and kick game. In the 37 games that he suited up for Atlanta this year, he drove the ball 217 times and passed the ball 54 total times, leading to 9 assists. That gave him an assist percentage of just 4.1%. Now, with much better shooters around him in Cleveland than in Atlanta, I expect that to be better moving forward. NBA.com's pass dashboard shows that he passed the ball a total of 18 times in his 23 minutes of action in his Cavs debut. Tonight, I felt that was much better. When he wasn't moving the ball, he was shooting it. He took numerous shots tonight, as I'm about to pull up the shot charts from both games. You see here, versus the Timberwolves, he took 7 total shots, knocked down 3 of 7. All 3 of those came from 3-point range, 2 of them from above the break, and 1 from the left-hand corner. Tonight, you saw him take 12 shots, which is something that I think we all expected from him, considering that Ty Jerome was not available tonight. Still no Isaac, still no Dean. So the offense has got to come from somewhere. And then we know DeAndre, right? He still is the NBA's bench leading scorer, putting up, if I'm not mistaken, about 18.9 points per game when he comes off the bench. Just phenomenal numbers from him. And I think these still hold true They're going to change after tonight's performance, obviously, but this is what he had been averaging as a reserve: 18.9 points, 3.7 rebounds, 1.5 assists, 46% from the field, shooting 38.1% from three-point range, 85.1% from the free throw line, and he was 15 and 18 previously in Atlanta. Now he is 1-0 when coming off the bench for Cleveland. Back to the shot chart for tonight. Again, you see it's kind of spread out, right? You have some mid-range attempts there. You got shots from all around the perimeter, 2 in that right-hand corner, 1 in the left, and the others coming from above the break. So this is pretty spread out. I think this is the entire DeAndre Hunter experience right here from an offensive standpoint. And the other thing that I was really hoping to see was the foul drawing, right? Something that Hunter had been very, very good at while in Atlanta. If I am not mistaken, Hunter, prior to being traded, was 37th in the entire NBA in terms of free throw attempts per game. So we know that it is within his game. And tonight, he drew 2 calls, right? And which resulted in ultimately just 2 free throw attempts. But it was nice to see him at least get the whistle at times. And I do have the offense queued up. Let me pull that out. Hopefully I did not forget to rip the audio this time. Okay, so this is DeAndre Hunter on numerous attempts tonight. These are some beautiful sequences. You see Evan Mobley absolutely swat that ball away. He drives inside. I don't think he got the foul call for that, which was absolute bullshit, but I'll take it. And then this other one with the lead pass by Sam Merrill down the court, where I think he did get the foul call, ended up taking those free throws. You have the 3-point shot here, the pull up, if I'm not mistaken. No, that's another drive, the mid-range. Yep, a pull-up mid-range attempt. Hunter is just so damn capable out there of wing creation, an area that not enough people talk about in terms of what you need out of these wings. There's one of the right-hand triples over there in that corner. Absolutely beautiful pass by Jarrett Allen, by the way. So give Jarrett his props for that. This one, another catch-and-shoot attempt from above the break off a Donovan Mitchell feed. Man, this guy just is the whole package out there on both ends of the floor. And I think this one right here is what resulted in another right corner triple. I think, no, it's another pull-up attempt. Oh, yeah, there it is, above the break. Just phenomenal shot making from DeAndre Hunter since he became a Cleveland Cavalier. This is the one right here. A pass from Craig Porter Jr. after he kicks it back out. Just, man. This is the Cavaliers' missing piece, guys. This is the Cavaliers' missing piece. I cannot wait to see what this guy looks like a few games in, right? He's already looking pretty good right now from an offensive standpoint, having knocked down, 7 triples since he became a Cleveland Cavalier. If my math is correct, I could be incorrect on that. I need to count that one more time. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the 3 in the first game. So yeah, 7 on the season with Cleveland so far. He is just looking exactly like the piece that we needed him to be. Now, here's the point here. Here's the point. And I see numerous people asking about it in the chat already, so I'll go ahead and answer it here. I myself would prefer for DeAndre Hunter to start. That is the case, in my opinion. But with no George Niang, no Dean Wade available at the moment. Obviously, Niang is in DeAndre's place in Atlanta, no longer on the roster, but Dean Wade is not active right now. So technically, the Cavaliers do not have a true third big out there. And so when you don't have that, available to you, we know one of the players that is capable of giving you minutes at the power forward is DeAndre Hunter. If I'm not mistaken, he has played a very, very solid amount of his minutes at the power forward position this year. Exactly 52% of his minutes have come at the power forward. That is actually more within the small forward this year, 48%. So I think that when you don't have a Dean Wade available, when you don't have a true third big, DeAndre Hunter should probably remain on the bench and give you that spark, spell the likes of Evan Mobley, or be the first reserve in for Max Strus. I think that is the way that you can get around it. And you can obviously stagger it so that he can play minutes with the starters Kenny Atkinson has been very good at staggering minutes of both Evan and Jarrett and Donovan and Darius to fit whatever is needed. And then you talk about closing lineups, right? I don't really think we have seen DeAndre Hunter in a closing lineup yet because it's frankly not been needed because the Cavaliers just been straight up whooping ass out here in these last 2 games. So he hasn't been needed. But with that being the case, he will eventually have to be utilized in that function with some of these games that the Cavaliers have after the All-Star break. You have a Knicks game coming up. You have a Boston game coming up, and he is going to be needed in both of those. And that's exactly why you acquired him. But as of right now, if Max Strus is healthy, if Dean Wade is not, I think it probably behooves the Cavaliers to keep Hunter on the bench because that is where his minutes will be most impactful. Now, when Dean is back healthy, I think that you probably slide DeAndre Hunter back into the starting unit. Now, who knows what Kenny Atkinson's going to do? And Max Strus, he showed you exactly why he has a huge case to remain in that starting lineup. I think I have some of his shots here too. Look at that, man. Just beautiful shot making from Max Strus. All of these coming in the first quarter. 4 first quarter triples for the likes of Max Strus. This guy is just an absolute flamethrower when he has it going. And his shot is starting to really come back around. And so is Sam Merrill's. Sam Merrill is shooting 50+% over his last 6 games. It's just been brilliant shot making from Sam Merrill. And at certain points this season, I was ready to just, throw it away. just throw the damn spot away for Max, not for Max, but for Sam. And he has made me eat those words. Over his last 6 games, including tonight, he is shooting 21 of 44 from 3-point distance. That is good for 47.7%. From 3-point distance. That's phenomenal shot making on very good volume. 7.3 attempts per game from beyond the arc. Just crazy production you're getting out of Max Strus and Sam Merrill. And I think that these are 2 guys that when they have it going, they are perfect and tailor-made for the Kenny Atkinson run offense. And they're just connective pieces of tissue. And even when Sam is struggling from a shot-making perspective, he typically does things out there on both ends of the floor that leave you, that leave you floored at times because legitimately on the defensive end, he doesn't get enough love. He has managed to be a competent defender this year, despite being undersized in many of the matchups that he has had to face this year. On the offensive end, he's very good without the ball in his hands. He can move the ball. He's a very good cutter. He still yields a lot of gravity out there when he is not making shots, and that is just as important. Maybe not just as important, but it's still up there in terms of importance because it opens the floor for your drivers and ball handlers. And so that is why Sam has occupied such a large role this season, even when you have had some of these other players available to you. But Max and Sam, man, they absolutely cooked tonight. And it was really nice to see that happen regardless of the opponent. Max and Sam combined for 8 total triples tonight on 8 of 20 from 3-point range. Phenomenal shot making. What can you say? I think that they definitely impressed me tonight, and I really don't care. People call this out as being a non-important win over a Toronto Raptors team that frankly is just terrible. But I will take it all the live long day. The Cavaliers, they need to add as much space between themselves and the Boston Celtics and New York Knicks as humanly possible between now and the end of the season so they can lock down that number 1 seed. I think we all really want that to be the case. And the Raptors, man, one of the other storylines that I was really looking forward to heading into this one was Evan Mobley versus Scotty Barnes. Look, this is the statistical breakdown between Barnes and Mobley. This is what it looks like. Evan Mobley has absolutely dominated Scotty Barnes over the course of their respective careers. Not only is Barnes now 4-9 in 13 career matchups versus Mobley, but from an individual standpoint, Mobley has made life very, very difficult on Barnes. And Barnes was already amped up just 17 seconds into this one as he drew a technical foul. That's how the Cavaliers scored the first points of the game. A technical free throw. That is some shit that I haven't seen in a very long time. I ain't gonna lie. And these, again, are the numbers when Mobley has functioned as his primary defender. When Mobley acts as Barnes' primary defender, Barnes is just 24 of 62, which is good for 38.7% from the field, including 0 of 7 from three-point distance. Again, this is prior to tonight in the matchups, and I have that record wrong there, but you get it. 4 and 9 now is Barnes against Mobley. And then conversely, on the opposite end, Mobley, when functioning as the offensive weapon versus Barnes, came into tonight 19 of 40, which is 47.5% from the field, and 2 of 10 from three-point distance, and now holds a 9 and 4 record versus the likes of Scotty Barnes. Look, this dude absolutely just gets the best of Scotty each and every single time they play. And yes, you can make the team argument. That is not lost on me that Evan Mobley by far plays on the better team. But just from an individual standpoint, when these two are guarding each other mano a mano, Mobley he just gets he just gets the best of them every time. That is not truly debatable in my eyes. He was damn near unstoppable at points out there tonight. And they clearly love playing against each other. But again, he has gotten the better of him basically every time that they played. And I think he's outperformed him damn near every step of the way. And I think that he's always going to have a little bit of extra juice in this matchup, thanks to that Rookie of the Year award that should have gone to Mobley, in my opinion, and went to Barnes instead. But that's neither here nor there. That was years ago. I just think that he has absolutely gotten the best of Barnes, and that is all I can ask for in a matchup like this, where there's just numerous stars in this one, whether it's Donovan Mitchell, Darius, Garland. I guess it's fair to call Scotty a star. He has made an all-star game, Jarrett Allen, et cetera, et cetera. But I was very, very impressed with Evan Mobley. Finished the night with 12 points, 15 boards, another 5 assists, 2 blocks. And this man has been absolutely everywhere from a defensive standpoint. Coming off that game against the Minnesota Timberwolves, in which he basically held that team collectively when he was functioning as opponent's primary defenders to 2 of 17. It felt like he did damn near the same thing tonight, just deterrent everything at the rim. Even when he didn't get blocks, even when Toronto players managed to score over him, if they did, it was contested. He made sure that life was difficult for about everybody that was out there, and that was just awesome. Mobley is just a two-way force. And when he gets it into his mind, when he gets it into his head that, hey, I'm going to dominate this game and absolutely nobody can stop me out there, I think those are the things that's the thing that truly makes this offense scary. Because coming into this season, many people are saying and still believe that in order for Cleveland to reach its apex, Evan Mobley has to be their best player, or at least close to it. And I think we are not far off from calling Evan Mobley that. And this is coming in a season where Darius Garland has looked phenomenal. This is coming in a season in which Donovan Mitchell has been named an all-star starter and has looked very, very good himself. Evan Mobley has just been on another level on both ends of the floor, whether it be the three-point shot making, whether it be the rebounding, whether it be the defense, whether it be the increased post moves, the aggressiveness, the muscle that he's put on. There are just numerous areas that he has shown growth in just this season. And I cannot be any more impressed than I am with him right now. It's just been awesome. And you felt the energy from this team. I think they said the Cavaliers had 12 assists on their first 13 made baskets. And that just shows you how much the ball was moving around out there. There was just a certain electricity to it that we have become accustomed to in the Kenny Atkinson era of Cavalier basketball. And that electricity, that ball movement, that helped them secure their 6th 40-plus point first quarter of the season. It's crazy what this team has managed to do. I think Jarrett Allen finished with his 30th double-double of the season, and he's not getting enough love. This is another guy that should be going to the All-Star game. You got Craig Porter Jr., who filled in quite admirably, if I do say so myself, for Ty Jerome tonight, who was active on both ends of the floor, which was illustrated by that sequence where he basically came up with a block, and then a couple of plays later goes in and gets the foul call. Just awesome basketball being played from Craig Porter Jr. right now. And I think without Karis LeVert, on the team anymore, and with no Ty Jerome available, these are the moments when Craig can shine the brightest. And his stat line will never be fancy, right? It'll never be something that blows you away or is truly eye-popping. But he would have finished the game with 7 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, and 20 minutes of action on 2 of 5 from the field. Just great basketball was had by all tonight. And it just goes to show you that this Cavaliers team, when they're locked in, there's just almost nothing you can do to stop them. And it resulted in an absolute ass kicking of the Toronto Raptors, where they would put up another 130 spot, scoring 131 points to Toronto's 108. And something else that should be taken away from tonight's victory: nobody played more than Donovan Mitchell's 29 minutes and 16 seconds. Another game where nobody cracks 30 minutes. That is awesome. One, that keeps your guys fresh. Two, it gets your reserves some real minutes, right? Jalen Tyson, another guy who's been earning more and more time lately through his effort on the defensive end and on the glass, got 17 tonight. And what would he do in his 17 minutes? He would provide the Cavaliers with 8 points, would drill 2 triples tonight. Look, that shot is starting to come around more and more from him, and he would still, give it to you on the defensive end. Tristan Thompson got in for 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Emoni Bates made his second field goal of the season, 3 minutes. Luke Travers got into the game. Everybody who suited up tonight got to play. That is my point. Everybody got to play. And I think that we can appreciate that, because down the stretch of the season, now with 28 games left, you need these guys fresh, and being able to turn to your reserves at a time where you're still missing 2 or 3 of your key rotation pieces, that is big time. Knowing that you can turn to Craig Porter Jr., knowing that you can turn to Jalen Tyson, that is big stuff, especially when you still need to address that 14th player on the roster, whether that be a guy off the street, or you're pulling somebody off the G League team, or you're converting one of your 2 ways. There are a number of directions that this Cavaliers team can go in, obviously. But even when you're down to 13 true rotation play, or 13 true rostered players, knowing that you still have enough to kick teams' ass, that's that feels good. That feels good. And I think that getting DeAndre Hunter and getting that true centerpiece at the 3, and I think that is what he is going to eventually become. No disrespect to Dean Wade, no disrespect to Isaac Okoro, no disrespect to Max Strus, but getting that true to size wing out there, that 3-and-D wing, I'm not afraid to say it. That, to me, is what's going to put this team over the top. As of right now, I do believe that the Cleveland Cavaliers have everything it takes. And let me not get ahead of myself. There's still one thing that's missing, and that is that true backup big. Because right now, Dean Wade is functioning as the backup big when he comes back. But if they get one more body, I truly do believe that they have what it takes to dethrone the Boston Celtics. I'm not afraid of anybody else in the Eastern Conference. I don't give a fuck about the Knicks. I don't really give a fuck about the Pacers. The Detroit Pistons, credit to JB Bickerstaff and company over there. But in a 7-game series, they don't scare me at all. They might be able to take a game, but there is nobody in the Eastern Conference that truly terrifies me. And I think that we are now looking to be on even ground with the Boston Celtics. Now in the West, we already know what we're dealing with, right? We got the Oklahoma City Thunders, the Los Angeles Lakers of the world. I'm not really concerned with that side of the bracket, because the Cavaliers have actually performed very, very well against the Western Conference this season. But in the East, I do not see anybody challenging this Cavaliers outside of the Boston Celtics. Nobody else truly puts fear in me. And with DeAndre Hunter in town, getting him further and further acclimated with this offense and seeing him play some inspired defense, that to me is going to pay off. Again, I was really hoping that BI was going to play tonight, because I clipped together some of the defensive work that he has done against Hunter, against Ingram. And I came away feeling like it's a very, very good matchup. I might just fuck around and play the clips anyways, but I thought he has been very, very phenomenal. Hell, why not? This is what he has done. And this does not look good from a career standpoint. Keep that in mind. 20 of 38, 52.6% from the field, 4 of 8 from three-point range in 5 career games. But when you actually look at the film says that he has what it takes to defend Brandon Ingram. Hopefully I pulled the audio from these. I did. Okay. This tells you out here that he is fully capable locking in on one of the bigger threes. If you consider Brandon, I don't know what you consider Brandon Ingram. Is he a 2? Is he a 3? I don't know. But he clearly has what it takes to stay in front of somebody like a Brandon Ingram. And these types of matchups right here are exactly why Hunter was acquired, to provide that true lockdown defense out there. And being next to Evan Mobley, being next to Jarrett Allen, it should probably bring out that true dog and the killer in him on the defensive end that we saw from him at the collegiate level, where he won Defensive Player of the Year. Did you see him staying absolutely glued to the likes of Brandon Ingram here? And I know Ingram did not play tonight, but man, I was really hoping he would, because this just showcases so much of what makes him effective out there. Yes, I know that he can be a little bit handsy out there. Pause. But I enjoy watching him contest shots and use his length to really, really give opponents struggles out there. And even when he gets beat, right? If he goes under the screen, or if he gets caught over it and just by the opposition setting a well-timed screen, he can generally recover in time to try and make a play on the ball due to his 7'2" wingspan. Just so many proper contests out there, good defensive technique. And I think it's this type of defensive play that's going to assist you with the Jason Tatums and the Jaylen Browns of the world, right? Those types of offensive talents. And we saw him try and do this against Anthony Edwards the other day. But again, as I said in the other post-game live stream after the Minnesota game, I walked away feeling like he is at his best when defending true threes, true fours, not necessarily twos, because that is what Anthony Edwards is. But a guy like Brandon Ingram, a guy like Jason Tatum, I would feel very, very confident about his chances of showing up big time in a playoffs setting against those types of talents out there. He shows you what he can do. And I think that is something that you absolutely need out of that 3. And again, no disrespect to Dean Wade, no disrespect to Max Strus or Isaac Okoro, but I truly believe that Hunter, once he gets fully acclimated to this team's offense, there's no stopping him. Because I think that from a pure defensive standpoint, a pure shot making standpoint, those two things in combination, being that true 3-and-D wing out there, that's basically gonna make this Cavaliers team as close to unstoppable as it gets out there. That, to me, that should scare a lot of teams, including Boston. But man, it was just such a phenomenal game out there tonight. And hopefully we continue to see Hunter light it up after the All-Star break. Again, he has now drilled 7 triples in his first 2 games with the Cleveland Cavaliers, and it's come on pretty good efficiency. It's something that I think is absolutely something he could absolutely keep up, but we'll have to see. Time will tell. Again, this is his first 2 games. 3 of 7 against the T-Wolves, 6 of 12 against the Raptors for a combined 9 of 19. That's pretty solid efficiency, especially from beyond the arc. 3 of 4 in that first game. And let's see here, 4 of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Man, I am terrible at math. 4 of 8 from 3-point distance, I think tonight was he from range. I could be incorrect in that. What was he? 4 of 9. 4 of 9 from 3-point distance was DeAndre Hunter tonight. The efficiency is there, and it's something that I think he can continue day in and day out, game in and game out. But that is what he offers you. And you saw the full package tonight in terms of offense and defense. But this team, it's not complete. They still need to get that 14th player. Not a lot of options right there right now. Larry Nance Jr. is injured, and frankly, I don't think he's going to be bought out. Chris Boucher, he is probably not going to be bought out, but time will tell on that one. Kevin Love, who knows? And so the options are really dwindling. It's really a misfit cast of players, whether that's the recently waived Christian Wood or Mo Bamba. When you're talking about guys like that, you know what you're working with. Or maybe you look at a G League talent, as we just saw Jahlil Okafor get signed to a 10-day contract, which is pretty awesome. I think the Indiana Pacers gave him another chance, but to see a guy work his way back to the league, still being just, I think, maybe 29 years of age, that's awesome. I can appreciate that. And maybe the Cavaliers go that type of route, or maybe they just sign a couple of guys to 10-day contracts until they can really solidify who they actually want to bring in. But they have 9 days to do so. They got 9 days from today to, now 8, 8 after today, truly, to get the job done. But if I had to bet right now, I think they'll probably end up signing somebody to a 10-day contract to try and push that time frame out as long as they can, because they can do that up to 2 times, and we'll see. But who truly knows what Kobe Altman and company are thinking? And I think with that being the case, perfect time to hop into the chat. Who we got? Hailstone says Double T is a menace, probably referring to that last sequence in the game. Got a lot of people upset out there, but who gives a fuck? If you beat a team down the way that Cleveland did, I mean, play better, Toronto. That's all I can say. HJ17 Gaming says not having to deal. Momo says good game. Get some rest, boys. They earned it. Absolutely. You get to go into the All-Star break with a very, very good record. You should now have confidence getting DeAndre Hunter fully acclimated to the offense, knowing that weapon that you picked up is living up to the hype. HJ also says when D Wade comes back to this team is going to be insane defensively. Absolutely. Add Isaac Okoro to that too. J Quest says Tristan is the mascot. Yeah, playing that Robin Lopez role out there. Momo says gotta love Double T. Tune in says, wait until Dean and Okoro come back. Everybody getting locked up. This shit has the potential to be so damn dangerous when you're talking about all the defenders on the roster. And DeAndre Hunter, Dean Wade, Isaac Okoro, Evan Mobley, Jarrett Allen. I feel like I'm forgetting somebody, but man, just awesome. Just awesome. Lawrence Goggins says the wing we needed. Absolutely. This is the piece, man. This has got to be the piece in my eyes. The Cavaliers felt that their title window was open, and they took the chance that a lot of people wanted them to take, and it has already started to pay off. Now, we really truly won't know until the postseason. That's when this team is going to be judged, because we've seen back-to-back seasons of high-level regular season success. We even saw them win a playoff series last year, but this team will truly be judged come the playoffs against teams like Boston, against teams like New York, right? And they're going to be tested. And DeAndre Hunter is going to be a big, big factor in those series. TuneIn says, would you prefer Hunter starting or coming off the bench and closing? Again, I prefer Hunter starting, but I really don't know how Kenny Atkinson is going to stagger these guys, or if he prefers Hunter's minutes coming off the bench as a power forward, or or a small forward. I think a lot of it is tied to Dean Wade's availability, to be honest with you. Momo says, I think Kenny still is working that out. We got so much talent. We absolutely do. It's going to take some time. It truly will. And a lot of it, again, will have to do with Dean being available. Sharebearer says, I still miss George and Karras, though. They were two big vibes guys. Tristan Thompson and George Niang's post-game shows together were comedy. They were gold. They were heartfelt. They felt good. Tristan gave a heartfelt message in regards to Niang the other day, by the way. But yeah, they are missed, both on and off the court. But I think the DeAndre Hunter trade was worth it, and I hope you feel so too. HJ17 says, if I agree, only if Wade is healthy. J-Quest says Strus was packing heat in that first quarter, though. He absolutely was. In case you missed the earlier portion of the pod, Max was absolutely cooking. 1 triple, 2 triples right there, 3 triples, and then that 4th triple to end that fourth quarter. Man, just absolutely phenomenal shooting from Max tonight. And that is why you continue to have faith in Max Strus when he starts, because he is capable of doing shit like that out there, just absolutely cooking and looking like he's on fire out there. Momo says, I hope we are full strength after the break. I think we will be. I think if the season was on the line, Dean Wade and Karis LeVert, not Karis, Dean Wade and Isaac Okoro and Ty Jerome would be out there. They would play. They would suit up. TuneIn says we will have the best starting five in basketball next to Boston. I think so too, man. We already got 3 All-Stars, really 4 All-Stars. If Jarrett Allen should have been All-Star, I don't give a hell. I don't give a fuck what people say. But yeah, and then DeAndre Hunter adding what he has to the table. That's just phenomenal. That's nasty, as Momo says. Okay, see, nasty though. They are. We know what challenges they present. They just got Chet back. That's big time for them. But we just got DeAndre Hunter. I feel good. HJ says also Tyson has been quietly balling lately. He has, especially on the glass. The offensive glass is where he has shown out the most, in my opinion. He's a guy like Craig Porter Jr. He's never really going to pop off in terms of that stat sheet. But the effort level that he shows on the glass and the effort level that he shows on the defensive end are what is going to continue to earn him minutes early in his career when the Cavaliers are just so damn stacked. TuneIn says Supermax, he definitely set the tone. And early on, man, early on. TuneIn also says he definitely was struggling, but looked like Sam getting back into rhythm. Again, if you guys missed this, Sam, over his last 6 games, is shooting 21 of 44 from three-point range. That is 47.7%. That is absolute fuego from three-point range. That's awesome. Soft Taco says, Double T hit them with that 51st state. We own Toronto, right? Tonight it looked like LeBronto out there. Annexing the Canadians. TuneIn says, Evan Mobley been better than Barnes. Absolutely. With tonight's loss, Scotty Barnes drops to 4-9 against Evan Mobley all time. And from an individual matchup standpoint, Mobley has absolutely cooked Scotty Barnes. Wunakahar says, Double T out there trolling. You got to sometimes. You got to show them, who's top dog, who's leading. Joe Durant says, be the bully or be the bullied. That's good. That's a good way of thinking about it in the NBA, right? You're either the bully, you're the one giving out shots out there, or you're the one taking it, right? And tonight, I think Evan Mobley, Jarrett Allen, Tristan Thompson, they showed you that they are fully capable of being those bullies. TuneIn says, get rest and come back locked in after All-Star break. I think they will, man. I think they absolutely will. Momo says, also, the announcers talking about Dick will never stop being funny to me. There's so much funny shit that happens on these broadcasts every single night. By the way, good to have Austin Carr back. Good to have Austin Carr back. Whatever happened with that, whatever side of the fence that you fall on, Austin Carr is a national treasure, man, and it's nice to have him on the call. He will always be synonymous with the with the get that weak stuff out of here calls, and you got one of those tonight. I think you actually got a couple of them, but it is so good to hear his voice out there at times. AC truly is a national treasure. As Jay Quest says down here, yes, AC is the best. He truly is. It was nice to hear him. Jay Quest also says, did you all catch Allen on the Young Man in 3-Pod? No, I have that queued up. I'm going to catch it. I saw a picture of him holding up Dune, which is a very good read. If anybody out there is a reader, but yeah, that sold me instantly on watching that. So I'll definitely be taking a look at that in my free time tomorrow. Floyd Phillips II says, start Dean, bolster the bench, keep it dangerous. I don't really think you can go wrong either way. And so if the Cavaliers plan is to continue to start Dean Wade when he is healthy, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. Because DeAndre Hunter, again, he's played 52% of his minutes at the power forward this year. He's played 48% at the small forward this year. He is positionally versatile enough. He is defensively versatile enough to handle the load and the pressure at either position. And if you're going to have him essentially function as your backup big, or you're going to stagger his minutes with Dean Wade, so those two do that, I think that you can make it work. But it's all up to Kenny Atkinson, obviously. And I don't know at that point what your plan is with players like Max Strus, Isaac Okoro, Sam Merrill. I don't know who's going to be in, who's out, who's fighting for minutes come the playoffs. But it's good to have options. And with DeAndre Hunter in town, I think the Cavalier the Cavaliers can rival just about anybody in this league, whether it's OKC, Boston, New York, anybody you want to throw out there. But man, I loved it. Hopefully they can keep it rolling after the break. Hopefully they don't come out on kind of a slog after the All-Star break with Darius, Donovan, and Evan, you know, uh, participating in those festivities. And I don't think that'll happen because Kenny always has these guys ready to play. But I'm I'm fully locked in and loaded for these final 28 or so games. And who knows? Maybe around the end of the season, we'll be talking about a franchise record and wins and more. And it's just awesome that the Cavaliers already have 8 season sweeps on this season. That is by far the most that they have had in a very long time. And I think they're going to keep that rolling right after the break. That said, as always, tell you guys, if you like to reach out to me, you know I can. It's Cavalier_pod on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and more. If you want to be added to the It's Cavalier Discord chat, you know what to do. Leave a rating, leave a review, send a screenshot, and send a review to It's Cavalier53 at gmail.com, and I will send you an invite. If you're watching over on Next, like I know a lot of you always do your boy a favor, head over to YouTube, hit that like button. You never know how much it helps with the discoverability out there. Subscribe to the It's Cavalier podcast if you're not yet subscribed, and hit that notification bell so you know when I'm going live. Guys, I have gone live after every game. That's a new personal best for me. I am consistent. If anything, my worth ethic will not be challenged. It will not be met. I kid. Go Cavs.